Hey folks, it's Gabe at Security.org, and today I'm here to talk to you about the legal risk of crypto investing. Now, right off the bat, I am not your lawyer. I will probably never be your lawyer, so this is not me giving you legal advice. There's no relationship between us in that sense. I just want to talk to you about some of the risks you can face when you are investing in crypto. Now, of course, if you'd like to see a full written breakdown of everything regarding these legal risks, head on over to Security.org, where we have a specific section, a specific article on what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, there are a few different categories that I'm going to talk about today. Some are kind of the obvious, right in your face risk, and some are ones that could come into play in the future. But let's start with the most important, I think, which is tax risk. In short, that's if you gain income from your crypto and do not report it, you are basically committing fraud according to the IRS. Now, the second thing I'm gonna talk about is the risk for penalties when it comes to holding foreign assets. Now, we have some videos that you can check out regarding some parts of what FinCEN does in the United States, but if you have foreign assets and they don't know, you could have some issues. The third risk is selling crypto to an unlicensed person. So we'll dive into that in just a moment. And the final risk I'm gonna talk about today is the risk related to KYC and AML. So KYC is know your customer. You have to know what's going on. Basically, this is to prevent money laundering. Now, early days of crypto, no one knew exactly how the IRS was going to treat it. You know, it was just kind of this nebulous arena. That has all changed. In Notice 2014-21, the IRS made it clear that they are treating cryptocurrency like property. So like a house, like a yacht, like, you know, any other piece of property that people happen to have and dispose of, and therefore gaining cash value. So in short, if someone gives you cryptocurrency, they want to know how much it was worth the moment you were given it and also the moment you sell it. So it's really based around not only that recording of what happened the moment you came into possession of it, but also the moment you dispose of that property. Now, all of this has to be reported on your tax forms when you file. And if you don't, not only you have to pay the tax on it, but also a 20% penalty. Now, it may sound like a bit of a headache, but fortunately, there's tons of software out there to help you when it comes to keeping track of all of your crypto value. So when you got something, when you bought something, when you sold something, when you gave it away, there's a lot of software to help you out with that. And all you have to do is tell these apps which exchanges, networks, and wallets that you're using, and then they can calculate the rest for you, the income you've made from every single transaction. Additionally, they're going to tell you how much of it has to be taxed as ordinary income and how much of it is capital gains. This way you can make an accurate report of your income each year. Now, of course, and you knew I was going to bring this up, there is one drawback to this type of method, which is the privacy concerns. Everyone's always worried about what's going to happen if I'm giving someone else access to what I've got going on. Because, you know, apps have problems. These things, issues crop up. I mean, we've seen this across the board, Wells Fargo to, you know, even password managers sometimes. So that is a bit of an issue, and that's just something you're gonna have to think about. Now, beginning with the 2023 tax filing year, you will have to fill out a 1099-B. Remember, this basically was part of the Infrastructure Jobs and Investment Act, where they said, hey, you know what, we really got to start keeping an eye on exactly what's happening. We need to start getting taxed from this. So in 2023, that will be part of the filing process, 1099-B. If you ever freelance or thing of that nature, you're probably familiar with this tax form already. Now, one option to get information about your trades is from your exchange itself. I know that Coinbase has launched an entire tax resources guide. Binance as well helps its users understand their tax liability. So a lot of the exchanges are on the right side of like figuring out how to get ahead of this. Now, of course, this is only going to work for exchange trades only. So things happening on your wallet directly, you're going to have to go to the Block Explorer page. All right, so now we talked about what most investors in the US are going to deal with. So, you know, tax risk, tax liability, all that's real. IRS is, you know, serious. But we also might have some people in here who might have these foreign issues. So let's talk about foreign exchange risk. Now, to be clear, what I'm talking about now when it comes to foreign account holdings is not yet in play. So this isn't a risk in the moment, but it may come into play in the next year, 2 years, so something to look out for. Now, if you hold $10,000 or more in a foreign bank, you have to fill out what's called Form 114. This allows FinCEN, that's the United States Financial Enforcement Network, to know that you have cash abroad. This is basically to prevent people from stashing their money abroad and not paying any taxes on it. That's what this is built for. And for now, cryptocurrency holdings in foreign accounts is not basically subject to this. So you're not doing a Form 114 yet for your foreign exchange holdings. Additionally, if the crypto is held in your own wallet in the future, that won't be a concern. It will only be a concern if you're holding more than $10,000, or as they call it, greater than $10,000 in a foreign exchange. Additionally, there's not a risk in holding that in general, just to be clear. You can have money in various accounts around the world. I mean, I would love to have more money in accounts around the world. In fact, I love to have more money in just my account here, but you would just have to disclose that amount if it's greater than $10,000. So there isn't a risk in itself. It's just going to be if you don't disclose the fact that you have those offshore exchange holdings. And the next risk is even fewer people than just foreign off-chain accounts. This is the Foreign Accounts Tax Compliance Act, and it refers to people with over $50,000 in offshore exchanges. So let's talk about what this might mean. So the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act requires American citizens with over $50,000 in specified financial assets to report that if it's in an offshore financial institution. Now, I want to go ahead and just read to you what that might mean. So a specified foreign financial asset is defined as an asset in any financial amount maintained by a foreign financial institution, or any of the following assets which are held in an account maintained by a financial institution. So any stock or security issued by a person other than the United States person, any financial instrument or contract held for investment that has an issuer or counterparty which is other than the United States person, and any interest in a foreign entity. So you're probably just wondering, Gabe, what the heck does that have to do with cryptocurrency? And honestly, tax lawyers and various other people seem to disagree on what that means, and we don't have full clarity on it. So until we get a clear answer from the IRS, this is definitely one of the bigger potential risks for investors, especially those that have foreign holdings. Now, of course, one way to avoid this is to go ahead and declare all of that on a Form 8938. So if you have over $50,000, congratulations. Hope you have some nice property somewhere too, abroad, like nice beach or something. Then that is something you're going to want to go ahead and just do if you want to avoid this altogether. If you don't want them to know, then also you can just wait to see what happens. So now let's just jump into selling cryptocurrency and what are the potential risks in that arena. In short, the best and easiest way to do this is just to use an exchange. Use an exchange to sell your crypto. You don't have to worry about things so much. You don't have to go into the potential problems with AML, KYC issues and regulations. Now, the United States has an act called the Bank Secrecy Act that requires money transmitters to have licenses or to do certain things. And this is really important because this is what basically prevents a lot of money laundering and things of that nature. You just have to know where you're getting your money from. And this is important because if you have a few, ETH or whatever you're trying to sell, you want to know who it is, and you have to know who it is in a lot of spaces. But I also want to point out that this is still kind of state by state. Now, we have an article and a video, which is basically, is crypto legal in my state, that you're going to want to check out specifically in order to know what the rules are going to be as they apply to you for selling crypto. Additionally, you need to be thinking about the SEC. So not only are we talking about Bank Secrecy Act, but we're talking about what they call selling unregistered securities. Because if you come up with a coin, a token, something of that nature, and they decide, hey, you've created a new security, you probably going to register that. Otherwise, the SEC can levy a fine against you. So that's something to keep in mind. SEC is also lurking. US, we have a lot of agencies. All right, so that's our look at some of the legal risks for crypto investing. Now, again, I'm not your attorney. This is not a definitive list even. There's always something to be thinking about. Please put down below. I'd love to be thinking about what I'm forgetting or learn about what I'm forgetting or not knowing. I'm an attorney, constantly learning. We don't learn everything in law school, not even close to it, especially when it comes to actual practice. So would love to hear from you all down below. If you appreciate today's video, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I'm going to be here each week bringing you the newest in physical and digital security from this basement known as Security.org. My name is Gabe. This is our spot. Be secure.